People don't think depressed or think anxious. It tends to be a feeling, which is what, the medical terminology for it is depression is remembered threat, anxiety is imagined threat. We think 70,000 thoughts a day apparently, but you're in a feeling state 24/7, the whole time you're here. Now they're all linked. We like to separate stuff out, but they're linked. But our biggest driver of behaviours is how we feel. Well, when I grew up, if you said to someone, "You love yourself, mate," that was an insult.
Right.
That was the biggest insult you could ever get in. That's true. I'm not making that up.
No.
And we were told emotions were weak. So if you cry or, if you, whatever, that was a sign of weakness. And there's some real strength in that, because sometimes to be able to be, to remove your first emotional response from a situation is a real strength that people like my background can be useful. But it also, if you can't, when you go through situations that genuinely upset you, we try and numb it, but you numb one emotion and you numb them all. And when you numb them all, you become disingenuous with the way that you express yourself. I'm so, Harry, I'm so excited to be on this podcast. It's just, if I was talking like that to you, you'd go, yeah, righto, that's... But, I genuinely like the opportunity. You can tell I like the opportunity to talk about this stuff. So you can pick that up. Well, with the emotional regulation we were taught as young men, not for, when I'm not dumb, I was just never taught any other way. So that's where my fascination about, where I know our emotional state, how we feel, so I explain how the brain works, and that's, a lot of our emotions come from our reptilian brain, and we feel it in our heart and, in our body. I needed to understand that, because what I'd done is try to numb them, in adversity. And it's like, if I cut my leg and I ignore it, it's going to fester. And if I keep ignoring it physically, I always use physical examples, it's going to get worse. And eventually I have to cut my leg off. Well, it's the same with emotions. If you try and numb them, they don't go away. They just fester. And then all of a sudden someone's, you push stuff down, that's frustration with something, and you push it down and you push it down, and your body goes, well, that didn't work. I need to get his attention to get this out of him. And all of a sudden you're driving down the street screaming out the window at someone that didn't put their blinker on properly. And you go, well, that really made sense. We see that happen all the time, right?
Yeah,
we see people, and it's not that situation. I understand that it's not that situation that is creating that behavior. And the biggest driver of behaviors is not what we think, but how we feel. Because we think 70,000 thoughts a day apparently, but you're in a feeling state 24/7, the whole time you're here. So, and it's a big driver of, they're all linked. We like to separate stuff out, but they're linked. But our biggest driver of behaviors is how we feel.
And so what eventually got you to accept that? Because you're talking about you have a cut and you've got a wound, and most people would accept that if you have a physical wound, you're going to go to the doctor or go to the hospital, you're going to get it sorted, you're going to get some medicine, you're going to take care of it. And if someone says, well, no, like you should really get that taken care of, it's like, no, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm not going to go to the doctor, I'm perfectly fine. It's like, yeah, but it must be really painful. Yeah, it really, really hurts, but I'm fine, you don't need to worry about me. No, but like you should go and see someone. It's really sore, but I don't need any help. I'm a big person, I can handle this, I'm strong. I mean, obviously that sounds ridiculous when you're talking about a wound like that, but it's a real type of conversation that you'll often hear when people are talking about mental health. Well,
that's what they call mental health. Most of the time, and it's a really weird term, mental health. We don't say you have a physical health injury issue, do we? You've got appendicitis or a sprained ankle or, cut on your leg or whatever it is. So I feel a lot of the stuff that they describe, people don't think depressed or think anxious. It tends to be a feeling, which is what, the medical terminology for it is depression is remembered threat, anxiety is imagined threat. Okay, so, but you tend to feel threat. Okay, that we're designed millions of years or however long we've been around as a species. We're designed that so we actually respond to it because then we go, why are we feeling? Well, there's a tiger over there. That's why I'm feeling it. So I need to do stuff. We're never taught that. I was never taught that about this is why you have emotions. So I always use this example. If you got a rock in your shoe, what do?
You ignore it for a long time and you just hold on to it in your shoe.
Yeah. Because it's your body, and I keep saying to people, well, your body's signal. We have an amazing thing that we hang around in, this body of ours that we live in. It doesn't want us to experience pain. So physically, it'll send us a signal.
Yes.
Dude, take the rock out of your shoe.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it, it'll, go, okay, well, let's make it worse. Our emotions are the same. We have emotions, and sometimes we do need to push them aside in serious situations, but we have emotions that give us, they don't, very rarely, it's only acute situations where we need to go into a state of rage.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are helpful.
Yes.
All of them are helpful. But what we do is we ignore them. So that slight bit of frustration, for example, or that little bit of sadness that we ignore, this situation happens, I'm not feeling good about it, and we push it down. I'm not going to let anyone know I'm sad. So your body goes, well, that didn't work, just like the rock in the shoe. So let's just turn it up. We've got to address this, so we've got to get this person's attention.